Well, I'd have to say this is the first time I've ever gone kayaking down city streets before. I'm in Pointe Gatineau, essentially at the peak of the flood of the Ottawa River and other rivers that flow into the Ottawa. And Pointe Gatineau is an older community that was for many years desirable because it was waterfront, fronting on to the Ottawa River and provided good access to the rest of Gatineau and the rest of Ottawa, Hull. This community here was flooded in 2017, and it's a bit hard to see, but some community members received compensation for the flooding, either through flood insurance or the provincial government, and some chose to rebuild. If I can move forward, it's a bit hard to film and kayak at the same time. So you can see this house in particular has a brand new fence, brand new siding. So it obviously survived the flooding of 2017, and I'm guessing there was some compensation paid out, which paid for renovations. Just around the corner, I'm not sure I'll float that far, it looks like a brand new garage, still with a few more cosmetic touches or final touches to be put on it before it's finished, and of course now they're going to have to start the cleanup all over again. One thing that's interesting about this community is that after the 2017 floods, the provincial government offered buyout money essentially for families that were flooded and chose not to rebuild. If they accepted the buyout money, then the flood damaged houses were demolished and just empty lots were left behind so far. So what you can see in the distance is a house that's now been flooded again, the yellow house, and empty lots on the left of the house. On the right of the house, it looks like 3, 4, maybe 5 houses have been demolished, and people have chosen not to return. They've purchased a house somewhere else. So this buyout program, it's also called Managed Retreat, is essentially a way of removing people out of a flood risk zone and still offering them a different place to live through compensation money. Another house that you can see off in the distance, it's wrapped in Tyvek construction paper. They have chosen to rebuild, but on an earth mound, and you can't see it from this angle, and I won't be able to get there quickly. But essentially that house is above the water level, the white house, raised up on an earth mound and some pilings. And even though they're pumping out water right now and they're sandbagging, they're still another half a meter above the top of the current flood level. So different approaches to flood risk reduction. Some people choosing to rebuild in place and defend during flood. Others choosing to accept a buyout and simply move. And then others choosing to rebuild in place but with flood proofing built into the house.